This episode is brought to you by theweddingplanner.co.nz. Welcome back to the Kiwi Wedding Podcast. My name is Lydia and I am your host and a wedding photographer based in Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland. Today on the podcast, I am chatting to the lovely Maddie. I know Maddie's sister, and when I saw this wedding pop up online, I knew I wanted to chat to Maddie about all of it. It's one of those ones with a dream team lineup of vendors. Many of them I know, and they're just absolutely incredible at what they do. Maddie and Wade's wedding was at the McCallum Residence. They had the amazing Danelle Bahane photographing it, Kate Solly on makeup, Michelle Kumi florals, the incredible team at One Fine Day Weddings doing all the planning and styling, Flock Furniture, 12 Tables Marquee, Robin Munro doing hair. I could go on. Definitely go over to our Instagram at Kiwi Wedding Podcast to check out some of their photos and see all the vendor credits there. You can also find those in the show notes. We chat through their whole love story, a beautiful proposal, what the planning process was like for them, how Maddie sometimes struggled making decisions and what she did to help with that. Some amazing recommendations and ideas you might not have heard of. Also a really cool honeymoon location that you probably haven't heard of. Some great advice on being present and really enjoying the day, and so much more. Let's get into it. Enjoy episode 49 with Maddie. Hi Maddie, thank you so much for jumping on the podcast with me today. So excited to chat all about your wedding.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Very excited to relive the day, actually.
So good. So to get started, if you could just tell me a bit about you and your partner, how you guys met, and your life together.
So my husband now is Wade, and we met, I think maybe coming up 4 years ago, and we met because I was hosting like a Bible study at my house, and he got told it started at 6:30, but at 6, but it started at 6:30. So he arrived 30 minutes early. So we don't know if there was a little bit of Cupid from the youth pastor there, but anyway, so we made like small talk for like 30 minutes, and we just sort of became friends. And obviously, I had Bible study every week, so we'd see each other every week. And we kind of became friends for a couple of years, and then we were like, oh, we're quite good friends, maybe we should try dating. So we did that, and then we had a bit of a brief hiatus, and then we got back together, and then sort of just knew getting back together that we wanted to get married and start our life, because we sort of realized over that time how much we love each other. And so then we got married about 7 months after we got back together the second time. And then we were engaged for a year, which was quite a long time, but I really loved it actually. I feel like it was sort of a nice slow process, and it didn't feel rushed. And then by the end of it, we were so ready to be married and move in together and all that sort of thing. So yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's a good amount of time. And can you tell us a bit about the proposal story and how all that went down?
Yes, so we're not very good at secrets, so I basically knew everything. I guess getting back together, we knew we were gonna get married, so it wasn't too much of a like surprise. But my family live in England, so they were coming home for the summer holidays, and kind of wanted to do some wedding things with mum and my sisters, and so we planned to get engaged over the Christmas holidays. And we actually we wanted this particular venue that we'd both loved, and we booked it on the 27th afternoon. And so he's like, well, by the 27th afternoon we probably should be engaged. So we then he said, I'm taking you out on the 27th morning. So I sort of knew it was going to happen on that day, and we drove up. He sort of wrote these little cards, and they had so he picked me up from my house. The first card was of my home address, and then at each point I would open that it said on the card, I would open it. So it was like my house, the coffee shop, the harbour bridge. And when I got to those points, I'd open it. It was like a little card, sort of like a note. which was really nice. And then finally we got to Tawharanui, which is my favorite beach. And we just went up to like a little cliff top there, and then he proposed, and it was all very awkward actually. He had his bags on, the seat, the towels, and he's like wanting to get it over and done with, so he gets on one knee with everything on, and then obviously I said yes, and then we just had a nice beach day, and then yeah, so it was very much us. We love beach, we love road trips. Do it most weeks actually, so it was very us, and yeah, it was really nice.
I love that. So cool. Not as much of the surprise factor, but still all the, yeah, cute little clues and stuff. That's so fun.
Yeah, that was really good.
And had you always been one of those girls that dreamed about what your wedding would look like and have like a certain vision and style in mind? And what were those first steps? So you pretty quickly booked the venue, and then, yeah, what were those first steps from there?
So I've always dreamt about my wedding day sort of as a whole. Like I've always had dresses that I loved in my Pinterest board over time. Um, but then when it came to actually planning it, I was so incredibly overwhelmed. I just like I loved the photos on Pinterest, but I was like not sure how to create it into my own vision. I was like, I just want that. I don't know how to make it. Um, and so my sister previously got married, so my parents, my mum, my dad didn't really do anything at all, but my mum sort of had a little bit of an idea of where to start, which was really helpful. And we had a wedding planner, which was the most amazing thing on earth, especially for me because I'm not good at this sort of thing, like planning events. Like I can sort of give my ideas that I love, but I need someone to put it into a sort of plan for me. Um, and I'm also not very good at making decisions. So, like, for example, they'd be like, "What invitation do you love?" And I was like, "Well, they're all nice." um, and so, um, yeah. So the first steps was um, we booked the venue straight away. We only visited one, so that was really easy, and that was good because I don't like lots of decisions. We both loved it, and so that was really easy. So we ticked that off, and then obviously we booked the wedding planner. Um, so we had that, and then we picked a date, and then we started thinking about guests, and it was all kind of slow at the beginning, and then the wedding planner would guide me along and be like, okay, we need to do invitations, so here's some options. We need to do this. But I had like initial planning meeting with her to discuss vibe and um, colors and things like that. And then we met with the florist to decide vibe and colors. And then they all sort of worked together. So they all would then go and chat about their vision. And it was very helpful.
Nice. And yeah, what were your sort of top priorities when it came to the day? Yeah, in terms of different vendors or people vibe.
We wanted it to be like we got married at the McCallum Residence, which is you sort of go the night before with your bridal party, and you have like a dinner, and then obviously you have the wedding day, and then your family and bridal party stay the night. So we sort of wanted like a little weekend sort of out of it. And then in terms of the wedding day, we wanted a quite big wedding. We have so many friends and family, and we really couldn't narrow it down. And so we wanted to make sure everyone that we loved could be there. So we tried to have 130, and then we got up to 170. But I think on the day we ended up having 150. So it was sort of in the middle, which was good. Yeah, I I really wanted a really good photographer because I wanted to be able to look back and feel like my day was captured, because obviously you can't. You want to be able to look back and be like, that's how I felt on that day. And so it was important we had a really good photographer. My husband's only request was that we didn't have a videographer. um, and so I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. So we compromised on that. So I really wanted the photos to be really beautiful, and they far exceeded my expectations. They were amazing. So that was sort of a priority. And then we just really wanted it to be, we wanted a beautiful sort of ceremony to like sort of capture the importance of a marriage and a wedding day. And then we wanted a really fun party and celebration with all our friends and family in the reception. And yeah, honestly, it was just it all went so well. It was just the best day.
So good, and the photos look stunning. So definitely nailed that. He's very talented.
She's amazing, honestly. We couldn't.
Yeah, yeah, so lovely. Yeah, can you tell me a bit about your wedding outfits, your dress? What was that process like, finding it or getting it made?
I had always on my Pinterest, honestly, if you look through it, it's basically the dress I got. And a lot of people say you're either gonna get the dress you love or something totally different. But when I went into the shop, I only went to one shop. Um, and because my mum was only over for a few months, I sort of got everything done basically as I got engaged. So my mum was there, and I think one of my sisters was there. I can't remember. And we tried on a few of the similar style, which I had like white strapless, sort of slight puff, plain sort of fabric, ivory. And that's what I really loved and always had. So when I went and tried it on, I sort of knew. And then mum's like, oh, we'll just have a think and we'll go back and try on some more at the same shop. And then went back the second time, maybe like a week later. And I just still loved it from the first time. So we just ordered it. And then I think it took 8 months for them to make it. So they made a new one, the one I tried on. Um, and then picked it up, and then I had like a couple of fittings just to get it right, and then picked it up just before the wedding. But it was just so easy, such an easy process. And I bought it from Hera Couture, so they were amazing, and it was really cool. I loved it. I was so happy.
Yeah, oh, so stunning. Nice to get something made perfectly for you. And yeah, I love that you had it on your Pinterest boards for ages and then actually went through with it, because so many people just think they want something and then find they hate it when they actually try it on. But yeah, love
Yeah.
that. And did you have a bridal party? Who was in that, and was that an easy process choosing them?
Yes, so I had a bridal party. I had 5 bridesmaids. I It was really easy actually. I have two sisters and a very best friend, so they were always going to be in it. And then I had two other really good friends, and I really wanted them to be a part of the day and like to just know that how special they were to me. And so, and because I kind of wanted the day to be like big with everyone we loved, I was like, a big bridal party kind of matches what we wanted. A little bit more difficult for my husband because I was like, you have to find 5 friends, and he had 3 very close friends, which was fine. And then the other two, he was like, I'll find people, it's okay. So he ended up having an awesome bridal party. So yeah, I had 5 and he had 5 too.
Nice. Oh, it's good. Matching. I mean, there's nothing wrong with uneven sides,
No,
but I
no.
know a lot of brides are like, no, we have to have exactly the same. So I get it. You mentioned your guest list already, but yeah, how was that process? Did you find it quite difficult narrowing them down?
Yeah, so the first sort of lot, we called it the A list, but it was just more for our brain planning, was we sort of went away and wrote down everyone we really wanted to be there, and then brought those lists together. And obviously there was some shared people in that as well. And that came to about 150, I think, and no, 170, which is quite a lot. And so we were like, usually there's some people that can't come just naturally. So we sort of said, okay. And then we got down to about 150, and then we had a few others who we really wanted to be there, but obviously numbers, you can't have everyone. And then slowly, as people couldn't come, we'd add in some people from, I don't want to say B list, but the list of, and then honestly, when it came to the wedding day, apart from those that couldn't come for reasons, every single person that I wanted to, I had invited. So I felt really awesome about that. I was really stoked, and yeah, it was so good. I remember thinking, looking out at everyone, like it was every person that had ever meant something to me or Wade was like sitting in one room, and it was just so cool.
Oh, so amazing. Such a rare thing, like probably won't happen again, all that exact group of people. So, so special to just, yeah, take that in and have everyone there that you wanted. And yeah, can you tell us a bit about the big day, how it all went down, and yeah, any highlights or favorite moments?
I was very stressed about the weather, as probably many brides are. Um, and so I was very relieved. Probably like I think the forecast on your phone says 10 days. So from the 10th day, I could finally see it. I just looked at it like all the time. And it ended up being so beautiful. So obviously we stayed the night before, um, and we had a rehearsal dinner and a rehearsal. And honestly, that was such a special night too. I really recommend a rehearsal dinner because it's sort of a more relaxed feel, and you get to connect with everyone, and my husband's family and my family and our bridal party, and because obviously the big day can be quite a lot of chatting to other guests. So to have like a real connection and dinner with those was really cool. So we had that, and then obviously went to sleep with all my bridesmaids and my mum, and that was really fun. And then we woke up to the most beautiful day. Sun was shining, and so that was really nice. And then we all got ready in the house, which was so relaxing. I really loved having the wedding and everything in one spot. So I felt so relaxed. I didn't need to get anywhere, didn't need to travel. So that like I woke up feeling really, really relaxed. And I was relaxed the whole day. And everyone kept saying, "Are you nervous yet? Are you nervous yet?" And I just really didn't get nervous. I was just really excited. And maybe like 1 hour before, I was like, "Oh shoot, I'm a bit nervous now." But leading up and getting ready, it was just such a nice day. We all just sat in a big room and we watched them set up and watched the ocean, and it was so good. And the boys got ready at one of the groomsmen's house. I think I was ready like an hour early or something, but then the guests were late, so I wasn't late. um, but they had to wait a bit. But the day went so smoothly. It felt like such a special day, and I had a lot of guests say it felt like a real Maddie and Wade wedding. Like they could see us in everything, and yeah, I sort of wanted like a romantic sort of feel vibe to the day, and so there was just so many beautiful candles and like vines, and I remember I went into the tent because I hadn't seen any of the sort of styling because I've been up getting ready, and it just blew me away. Like it was just so beautiful. So yeah, we had the ceremony, and that was really awesome, just amazing. And then canapé, so to see everyone, and then we had photos, and the photographer was just so amazing. It was so fast. um, and then we had a reception, and I I think my favorite part was just I felt really present on the day. I felt like I remember everything. I felt like I had remember every conversation, every drink I had, every food I ate. Because everyone said make sure you like take a moment to be there, and I felt like I did. And so, but yeah, there was just honestly nothing I would change. It just went so good. And then I think I just loved dancing with everyone at the end. We're such a dancing family, and yeah, it was amazing.
So cool. Sounds like such a perfect day. And yeah, so lucky the sun came out and it's such a stunning spot there. So yeah,
Yeah.
really nice to have everything in one place as well. And yeah, cut out any of that time in the car for you or your guests. Are you a bride or groom in New Zealand feeling overwhelmed by the thought of your big day? I get it. Planning your dream wedding is a journey filled with excitement and a little bit of stress too. The last thing you want is to worry about the details on your wedding day. That's where the wedding planner comes in. They specialise in wedding day of coordination, ensuring everything runs smoothly from start to finish. They have an experienced team right across New Zealand that takes care of all the details so you can focus on enjoying every magical moment. From managing vendors and timelines to handling unexpected hiccups, they've got it covered. Let the wedding planner turn your wedding dreams into a flawless reality. They are New Zealand's go-to for a stress-free and perfectly coordinated day. The wedding planner has an exclusive offer just for listeners. Mention the podcast when booking and receive their comprehensive venue walkthrough and ceremony rehearsal add-on, valued at $250 with any package. Get the extra peace of mind you need just before your big day arrives. Visit theweddingplanner.co.nz to inquire and book a consultation to make your special day everything you've imagined and more. Thank you so much to the Wedding Planner for supporting this episode of the Kiwi Wedding Podcast. And yeah, was there anything that you found hard about the wedding planning process, or that you look back on and regret or would do a little bit differently?
I don't think I have any regrets. I definitely found a lot of decision making, and especially little decision making, quite difficult. And so my number one tip would be really let people help you. Um, Give little jobs to people, and yeah, because I found when I would sort of be like, oh, this is too much, or can someone help me with this? People were so willing to help, and especially the wedding planners and my mum, like they were amazing. So they really helped me enjoy the process more. There's definitely times when I was like, oh, this is this is too many decisions. Yeah, I feel like just being able to have people you trust and your partner and your family and whoever you're working with on the wedding in your corner and just willing to help you. Because also obviously like I was working and there's so many things going on. So and that's also why I think I loved having a year engagement, because I never felt too stressed to have something done too quickly. And we're not very good at focusing, to be honest. Having things slowly done was really good for me.
Yeah, that's great advice. Definitely spread it out if you can and ask for help. I know some people struggle to like let go of control, but people do want to help you, and yeah, definitely lifts the stress off you because it is a lot planning a wedding, and yeah, when you're working full time and everything as well, and yeah, getting a planner if you can too is super helpful.
Yeah, definitely.
And did you guys go on honeymoon straight away? What did planning that look like?
Yeah, so the honeymoon was definitely a Wade thing. So I gave him sort of authority to look at some places and to decide something for us to do. And we just sort of said at the beginning what we would both love. And I said I'd love the ocean, to lie in the sun, do nothing. And he wanted to surf. So that kind of worked together well because we can both do that. And so he picked some ideas, and we ended up choosing the Mentawai Islands in Indonesia, which is a very long way away, 3 planes, 2 boats. But it was amazing. My bridesmaid was getting married 4 days after me. So we didn't go straight away because we role reversed into her wedding pretty quickly. And so the night after our wedding, we went down to Raglan for a couple of nights for like a mini moon, just so we had a little break. And then had her wedding, had Christmas, and then we actually left on Christmas Day in the evening to go on a honeymoon. And we had, I think, 10 days from start to finish, including travel days. And it was so amazing. And I'd actually never heard of the place before, so I was so pleasantly surprised. But it was just so relaxing and exactly what we needed because it was quite a big, uh, so many things going on. So yeah.
Nice, busy time of year having your wedding just before Christmas as well. But yeah, I love that, going somewhere a little bit different. It sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
And yeah, did you have any helpful websites or different apps and resources that you use? You already mentioned Pinterest, which is always amazing. But yeah, anything that kind of helped in the wedding planning process?
Yeah, obviously Pinterest and Instagram for a lot of like styling ideas and other people's weddings. And obviously I followed all my vendors, so I'd sort of see what they were doing and draw from what they had done. Um, we had a wedding website with Bliss and Bone, I think it is, which was so easy to use. Highly recommend. It did everything. So on our invitations, we just said go to the website, and it had everything. It had like a registry, RSVP. Um, you had to get to our wedding via bus, so it had all the instructions and all that sort of thing. But very user friendly and really easy to create your own style and everything. But apart from that, that was probably all. I'm not sure if our wedding planners had something they used. But yeah, that's what I use mainly.
Nice. Yeah, that's good to hear about that wedding website one. Super helpful, and yeah, so easy to just put all the information, everything for guests on there and make it look nice too. And yeah, do you have any advice that you would give to couples who are planning their wedding at the moment?
Oh, obviously, pick a date. That was really the most important thing, because I think when you have a date, and sort of think about how much time you think you would like to plan it, um, and choosing a date. So don't make yourself rushed if that's not good for you. So yeah, pick a date, and enjoy it as much as you can, because I think people say you only do it, well, you only do it once, you hope. But it goes by really fast, and you sort of in the middle of it, you're like, this is really hard and so many decisions, and but I look back and I actually really loved being a part of creating our wedding day and the day that we'll look back on. And yeah, and I think another tip that I have was, which is kind of random, but we had dance lessons for our first dance, and I highly recommend it. It was such a fun bonding experience, and then we actually forgot our dance on the wedding night, even after we had so many lessons. But that's a part that I look back on and I really loved. And so, if that's something you're interested in, I would recommend it for people. But yeah, and I think it's such a time that brings everyone that you love together. And so, I think I'm obviously saying getting help, but including as many people as you can, if that's what you want in the process. Like I just had so many fun times with mum and things like that during the process. So yeah.
Oh, so nice. Such great advice. And what is married life like now? Do you feel like you got any of those post-wedding blues?
I don't have post-wedding blues. I just have, like, we always look back and talk about it and reflect on it and talk about it with people who were there. So I kind of like keeping the wedding alive. And married life's awesome. Like, it feels so settling and peaceful to sort of just do everyday life with the person that you love, and to look back and yeah, sort of, yeah, we'll just randomly be like, how fun was that part of our wedding? And it's been like so long. It would just be like a tiny thing, but I don't ever want to forget it, so we try and, yeah, keep its memory alive. If that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Love that. It's so nice to just, yeah, reminisce and have all those memories and then, yeah, photos to look back on as well. Love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, amazing. So nice to chat to you today.
Thank you for having me. I've loved being able to talk about it and relive it and hopefully help someone or inspire someone, or yeah.